place where we talk about needs. And the question is, we have investigated the context our children live in and what makes them vulnerable. And we'll seek to answer 3 questions. 1. What are the specific needs of children that our project seeks to address? 2. Why are children in this situation? And thirdly, are the activities we are doing addressing these needs of children? We can do some more research to find out what is the situation of children now. If nothing is done, what will the future look like? What should it be? Are there improvements we can make? We could also use secondary data, look at journals, newspaper, the internet. There's a lot of information. UNICEF produces the State of the World's Children report every year, which is very, very resourceful. And thirdly, we can talk to communities and find out about children here in our community. We're now going to illustrate how we analyze problems using a problem tree. Join me. We're going to address ourselves to this question on problem, the illegal child marriages. And when you're developing the problem tree, you begin by asking a very important question, but why? Why do we have illegal child marriages? And I've worked with 2 ideas. One is that the negative culture or societal beliefs around girls, and the other one is that girls drop out of school early, and that's why they get married early. So those are 2 ideas. Again, to move that further, we've got to ask the question, but why? Why do girls drop out of school at an early age? Is it because they get pregnant early? Maybe. Or is it because they perform poorly in school so they don't get the grade? Or is it possibly because, let's remove that, the socio-economic impact or status of the family is low, and therefore the girls end up dropping out of school? And you've got to move that even further and ask yourself, but why? Why is it that the girls are going to perform poorly? So girls are performing poorly because they're frequently out of class, they're not there. Maybe it's also because they have limited learning resources. Okay, that's the reason why. So the question, why and why? And then, why are they getting unintended pregnancies? Or it's possible that because they have poor sexual and reproductive health knowledge, or because they're involved in high risk sexual practices, which is dangerous. And then, why is it that there's low socioeconomic status of the family? It's because the family has limited income. So that's the why. That's the why for that side. Now let me take you back to this side. Okay, just more space there to go to this side. Why do we have negative cultural beliefs in our community? Maybe it's because we have high illiteracy levels in our communities. That could be a problem. Or we have a challenge with gender stereotypes. What people think about different gender and their roles in doing in society. And so that's a problem tree being constructed here. Now, I would want to so we now have what I think is a tree. This is our problem tree. Starts from there, that has a branch. And then from here you have something like this. It's another level of branches, and then from this side you have that branch coming down from there. Okay, it gets those roots. Then when you get here, actually, then you have but why? Because of this. Okay, but why? Because of this. But why? And the tree, goes on and on. So it's a huge tree. But as you tell, my interest is in particularly this side of the tree that I'd want us to work with. And we'll create, in a sense, a bit of a project and just say, let's deal with this side of the tree, which is about early child marriages, which are related to girls dropping out of school And the reason we're doing this is sometimes we're not able to do everything there is in this project. But this is the project I would want us to address ourselves to. And the next stage of this is changing this problem tree into an objective tree. And how do we do that? So when it becomes an objective tree, what happens? From early child marriages, we want to change, an objective will be we want to reduce early child marriages. And then if girls are dropping out of school early, we want to say let's reduce the attrition of girls in primary schools. It means we want many girls to complete their primary school education. Then we got next. The socioeconomic status is poor for these families. Let's increase the household income. That's an area we want to deal with. That's something which is positive. The poor academic grades will turn into improved academic grades, and while the unintended pregnancies would return to reducing the teenage pregnancy rates in our communities. And what about the ones lower down? We'll get to the limited household income. What do we do? Changing it to positive will become improved household income, while here we have limited learning resources, which will become increased learning resources. And then we have the frequent absence from class. You see, I want to make sure that girls attend class more often, so that's going to be improved. Then this whole area of sexual and reproductive health, poor knowledge, poor sexual practices. Let's say we're going to increase and make sure that people have positive reproductive health choices. So it's now become what we call an objective tree. From a problem tree to an objective tree, which is telling us what we're going to do. So next is to ask ourselves, what activities do we then do? That's the next sheet we're going to be looking at. Then the objective tree, rearranged this whole stack of cards differently. We have the goal there, which is to reduce early child marriages, and then we want to reduce attrition of girls in primary schools. We want to make sure that girls complete school when they enroll. And because of that, we have a level of outcomes. 1, improve academic grades. 2, increase, make sure there's sufficient household income. And 3, reduce teenage pregnancy rates. Then we go to a second level of cards that we developed. I'd want to call those the intermediary outcomes. What are they? If we improve academic grades, we've got to ensure that class attendance increases. We've got to ensure that we have resources for learning for children. And for these things to happen, what do we do? Activities. Provide learning resources for children. We want to build facilities to support menstrual health so that girls attend regularly school. They don't fall out of classes. We want to conduct catch-up classes so that girls can catch up with their education. Let's move down to the income. Sufficient household income. What do we do? Let's improve household income. For us to improve household income, the activities are going to be, let's support income generation projects for parents. Let's educate parents on the importance of girls' education so that when they get the money, they can take the girls to school. Then reduce the teenage pregnancy rates. The intermediate outcome there is one to increase sexual and reproductive health choices, but particularly that those are positive choices that the young girls make. For them to be able to get there, we've got to train them in their psychosocial skills. We've got to provide comprehensive sexual and reproductive health education. And so we've lined up now activities that relate to these intermediary outcomes, to the next level of outcomes, to the objective of our project, which is that girls complete school, and finally, that reduce early child marriages. So that's how we end up with this project. I pray that they have questions and would want to answer some of this in our next discussion in the webinar next week.